Even though Gen C was launched super recently on the game, I decided to make a guide for the myth, the legend, Mortefi. I decided that instead of being like a lot of those content creators and make a guide for her, that would probably flop, because everyone who got her already knows how to build her. I would instead focus on one of my favorite characters and mains that actually work super well with Gen C and almost any character. Mortefi is a fusion character that is focused on being a sub-DPS and buffer for your teams, but depending on the situation, you sometimes will find him dealing more damage than the main DPS. In this video, I will explain all you need to know about him, how to build him, how to play with him, everything. 97% of you are not subscribed, so please, don't forget to leave a like and a sub if you like this. It's my first Wuthering Waves guide, and by leaving your support, YouTube will know that you like my content and will start recommending it more for you and for other people as well. We have a video every Wednesday and Saturday if you are interested. All my links are in the description, and for those who want to support me even more, you can always become a member. Without any furthers, let's now talk about Mortefi's kit.
Silence!
Mortefi is a 4-star character from the fusion element who uses pistols type weapon, and it's focused on being a sub-DPS and buffer for your teams. On his basic attacks, Mortefi uses his dual guns and fire to perform up to 4 continuous attacks dealing fusion damage. And on his heavy attack, Mortefi enters the aiming state for a more powerful shot. The aim shot fired after charging finishes will deal fusion damage. When he uses resonance skill, Passionate Variation, Mortefi launches a high-speed flame lightning forward, dealing fusion damage. On his Resonance Liberation, Violent Finale, Mortefi deals fusion damage and applies the Burning Rhapsody to all characters in the team. During this state, when the on-field character's basic attack hits a target, Mortefi launches a coordinated attack, firing 1 Mercato. When the on-field character's heavy attack hits the target, Mortefi launches the coordinated attack, firing 2 Mercato instead. Mortefi can launch 1 coordinated attack every 0.35 seconds. And they will always deal fusion damage. On his Forte circuit, Fury Fudge, when Mortefi's Forte bar reaches 100, his resonance skill is enhanced with Fury Fudge. When casting Fury Fudge, Mortefi consumes all the Forte bar to unleash a high-speed flame lightning, dealing fusion damage and considered as a resonance skill damage. And he can fill his Forte bar by using his basic attacks, intro skill and resonance skill. And within 5 seconds after casting his skill, his basic attacks will fill his Forte bar faster than usual. On his intro skill, Dissonance, Mortefi attacks the target, dealing fusion damage. And for last, on his outro skill, Rage Transpotion, the next character entering the field gains 38% heavy attack damage deepen for 15 seconds or until the character is switched.
Silence!
With his minor fortes, Mortefi will gain a total of 12% fusion damage bonus and 12% attack. With his first inherent skill, Harmonic Control, after casting the resonance skill, the damage of the enhanced resonance skills is increased by 25% for 8 seconds. And with his second inherent skill, Rhythmic Vibrato, during Resonance Liberation, each hit of the Resonance Liberation will increase the damage of the next hit by 1.5%, which can be triggered once every 0.35 seconds, stacking up to 50 times. The effect will reset after the Resonance Liberation state ends. His talent priorities are the following: focus on your Liberation first, then your Forte, after that your skill and basic at the same time, and for less your intro skill.
Silence!
Now let's talk a bit about Mortefi sequences for those who got some of them. On his S1, during the Resonance Liberation state, Mortefi launches coordinated attacks when the on-field character performs their resonance skills, firing 2 hits, dealing fusion damage. On his S2, after using the Echo skill, Mortefi restores an additional 10 resonance energy. This can be triggered once every 20 seconds. On his S3, during the Resonance Liberation state, the crit damage of the Resonance Liberation hits is increased by 30%. With his S4, the duration of his Resonance Liberation state is extended by 7 seconds. On his S5, when the normal Resonance skill or the enhanced Resonance skill hits the target, 4 Resonance Liberation hits will be fired, dealing fusion damage. Damage of Resonance Liberation hits fired in this way is reduced by 50%. And for last, with his S6, when you use your Resonance Liberation, the attack of all your team members is increased by 20% for 20 seconds.
Silence!
Now it's time to talk about the best echo sets that you should farm for your Mortefi. His best in slot echo set is without any doubt Moonlit Clouds. With this set, you'll increase your energy regen by 10%, allowing for more resonance liberations, while also increase the attack of the next resonator after using the outro skill by 22.5% for 15 seconds, further increasing even more his buffs for the team in general. As your main echo, going with the Impermanence Heron will be your best option, since it will deal some havoc damage when cast, while also regaining 10 resonance energy for your Mortefi. And after the first hit lands, buffs the damage dealt by the next character after you perform an outro skill within the next 15 seconds by 12% for also 15 seconds. If by any chance you are ignoring your Mortefi support capabilities and want to make him the best DPS he can be, the 5-piece Molten Rift is your best option, increasing your fusion damage by 10% and furthermore 30% for 15 seconds after using Resonance skill. This set will maximize his DPS capabilities, but it's far from being his best in slot, because he's not a dedicated DPS, but also a buffer for your teams. If you do end up going for this set anyways, you will want the Inferno Rider as your main echo, since it will deal 3 slashes of fusion damage when cast, and after the final hit it will increase your Mortefi fusion damage and basic attack damage by 12% for 15 seconds. While you are still trying to get a complete 5-piece Moonlit Clouds, you can mix and match echo sets that provide energy regen, attack and or fusion damage bonus, with the Impermanence Heron as your base main echo.
Silence!
Now that we know the best sets, let's now talk about the best stats you need to be looking for. For the 4-cost echo, crits. For the 3-cost echoes, fusion damage. And for the 1-cost echoes, attack percent. For the substats, you should focus on energy regen until you get 120%, crits, attack percent, and resonance liberation damage.
Silence!
For Mortefi weapons, his best in slot will be the standard 5-star pistol Static Mist. This weapon offers a solid amount of crit rate on this substat, and its passive will increase your energy regen by 12.8%, already helping you reach the energy breakpoint, while also increasing the attack of the next resonator by 10% for 14 seconds after you use an outro skill. His best 4-star option will be the Nova Burst. This weapon provides attack percent on its substat, and its passive further increases your attack by 4% for 8 seconds every time you dash or dodge an attack with a max of 3 stacks. Other 4-star weapons like Undying Flame, Pistols 26, and Thunderbolt are also good options, since all of them provide attack percent on its substat and have passives that increase either your attack or your resonance skill damage. And for last, for those who don't have any of the previous weapons, the 3-star weapon Pistols of the Night can be used while you don't have any of the other options, since it provides attack percent on its substat and its passive increases your attack by an extra 8% when you release an intro skill, and since this is a 3-star weapon, you can put it to level 5 relatively quick, giving you an extra 16% instead.
Silence!
For Mortefi teams, you will end up pairing him with characters that either are focused on heavy attack damage thanks to his outro giving heavy attack deepen, or that really take advantage of his coordinated attacks, since he will be doing a lot of them on his liberation. So here are some of my options. For a Jian team, pair him with Jian and Verena or Baiji. For a Jinshi team, pair him with Jinshi and Verena or Baiji. For a Dunjin team, pair him with Dunjin and Jianshin. For a Jianshin team, pair him with Jianshin and Verena or Baiji. And for an F2P team, pair him with Evoke Rover and Baiji. Just a reminder that Mortefi will always be a good buffer and sub-DPS for any team, even without characters that take advantage of his heavy attack deepen. And don't limit yourself into only using these teams I mentioned. If you would want to try something else, do it. If you have any team you think it's worth a mention, or if you want suggestions on what characters to use instead of the ones I recommended, feel free to comment about it.
Silence!
So what's your opinion about Mortefi? After this guide, I hope you have a more understanding on how to build and play with him, and I really hope you start using him more, because he's a god. If you like my content, don't forget to leave your sub and to like this video. Your support is amazing, and I'm so happy to have you from that side. 97% of you are not subscribed, so press that subscribe button and come join this community. I'm starting my journey on Wuthering Waves content, and I hope I will have you on that side forever. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me even more, and thank you so much for staying until the end. See you every Wednesday and Saturday for another amazing video. Stay safe and have a good one.